Telling time. Warm-up time. Observe the table given below. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. 12 midnight to 12 noon, 12 hours. 12 noon to 12 midnight, 12 hours. Learning time. Before we proceed into the lesson, let's recite a poem on time. I'm the clock crew and I'm okay. I take all night and I take all day. I've got 2 hands, I'm having a ball. Because I've got 2 arms at all. My big hand can move 60 minutes in 1 hour. I'm the one with the strength and power. My small hand isn't quite as fast. If they were in a race, I would come last. It takes so long just to get round. 12 hours, you know. It's careful, small and slow. Now meet my friends that help me tick-tock. 1/2 past, 1/4 past, 1/4 to, and o'clock. Measuring time. We measure out our days in hours, minutes, and seconds. This helps us to organize all the time we have in 1 day. They are 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour, 24 hours in 1 day. We organize our days into weeks, months, and years. There are 7 days in 1 week, 28 to 31 days in 1 month, 12 months in 1 year, 365 days in 1 year. Number of days in each month. There are 31 days in most months except April, June, September, and November, which all have 30 days, and February, which usually has 28 days but has 29 every 4th year, called a leap year. We use a rhyme to help us remember how many days there are in each month. 30 days had September, April, June, and November. February has 28 alone. All the rest have 31, except in leap year. That's the time when February's days are 29. The units of measurement we use to measure time have been created over many years to help us to understand the reason of the year and the amount of light and dark we have every day. Analog time. There are 24 hours in 1 day, but the day can be measured by splitting it into 2 halves. The first 12 hours of the day, from midnight to midday, are called AM, and the next 12 hours, from midday to midnight, are called PM. When writing down times, morning times end in AM, and afternoon times end in PM. This is called analog time. AM or PM. With analog time, the only way we know the right time of day is by adding AM or PM next to the time. So we know if it's a morning or an afternoon. This is important because there is an AM and also a PM for every time of the day. For example, at 8:30 AM, you're probably on your way to school. But at 8:30 PM, you're probably on your way to bed. Digital time. Digital time doesn't break up the 24 hours of a day into 2 halves, and digital time doesn't use AM or PM. Instead, it counts each of the 24 hours in the day. 7 AM is written as 07 12 p.m. midday is written as 12:00. In the afternoon, the clock numbers continue to increase so that 1 p.m. becomes 13:00 and 2 p.m. becomes 14:00 and so on until 23:59. The clock then resets to 00:00 midnight to begin counting the new day. Digital time is written like a 24-hour timer. So 1:15 a.m. becomes 01:15 and 2:45 p.m. becomes 14:45. Reading time. Observe the face of the clock. The face of the clock is marked with numerals 1 to 12. The clock has two hands. One hand is long and the other is short. The long hand is minutes hand. It shows minutes. The short hand is hours hand. It shows hours. When the minute hand is at 12, the hour hand tells the hour of the day. The short hand of the clock is at 3. The long hand of the clock is at 12. So, the time is 3:00. We write it as 3:00. Reading the time in 3 ways. Time can read in 3 different ways. Let's look at the following example. 10 minutes to 2, 50 minutes to past 1, 1:50. 15 minutes to 2, 45 minutes past 1, 1:45. 30 minutes to 4, 30 minutes past 3, 3:30. Activity 1. Fill in the blanks. There are minutes in a quarter hour. There are minutes in half an hour. There are minutes in 3/4 hour. There are minutes in 1 hour. There are hours in 1 day. Activity 2. Write time showing AM or PM for the following sentence. I get up at. I go to school at. I have my lunch at. I have my dinner at. I go to bed at. Activity 3. Draw the hands to show the time as indicated. Maths lab activity. Clock 1 a.m. Clock 2 p.m. Clock 1 shows 8 a.m. Clock 2 shows 2 p.m. Time lapse 6 hours. Divide the children into 3 groups. First group shows the a.m. time in clock 1. Second group shows the p.m. time in clock 2. Third group tells the time lapse.